What if I told you that the United States government is sitting on billions of dollars, and it's literally trying to give that money away to people just like you? Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to see exactly how ordinary entrepreneurs are using these programs to access capital, slash their tax bills, and build real generational wealth. And here's the part that's going to frustrate you a little. Most people will never know this exists. But you're about to. Here's the thing. Most new entrepreneurs have absolutely no idea about. There are entire government programs designed specifically to hand business owners access to funding, but almost nobody applies. Why? Because nobody tells you. From grants, to workforce incentives, to tax strategies, to low-interest loans, the system is packed with opportunities. And the founders who learn how to navigate it? They get a massive head start over everyone else. So let's pull back the curtain because what you're about to learn, most people will never hear in their entire lives. Let's start with something almost nobody talks about: state incentives. And trust me, this is bigger than you think. Nearly every single state in America has its own economic development program designed to attract and reward businesses that create local jobs. We're talking tax credits, wage reimbursements, workforce training funds, real money sitting there waiting. But here's the question you should be asking right now. Why would a state just hand out money like this? The answer is going to change the way you see business forever. Here's the truth. States are literally competing for you. Think about it from their perspective. More businesses means more jobs. More jobs means a stronger local economy. And a stronger economy means more tax revenue flowing back to the state. So what do? They roll out the red carpet. Doesn't matter if it's a conservative state or a liberal state, a massive city or a tiny rural town. These programs exist almost everywhere. And once you see how this game works, you'll never look at starting a business the same way again. Now here's where it gets really specific. And I want you to pay close attention, because this is the part that most people skip right past. Some states offer direct training grants, hundreds of thousands of dollars for workforce development. Others offer thousands of dollars per employee you hire, especially in rural or economically challenged areas. And in some places, you can even get reimbursed for a chunk of your payroll expenses. Yes, the government, paying part of your payroll. Let that sink in for a second, and it only gets better from here. Let me show you real examples, because numbers on a page are one thing, but real companies cashing in? That's where it gets exciting. Take Texas. The Texas Enterprise Fund is one of the largest business incentive programs in the entire country. Companies that relocate to Texas or expand within it and commit to creating jobs and making major investments, they get funded. And we're not talking small names here. Toyota, Apple, massive corporations have taken advantage of this exact program. And honestly, why does almost nobody outside of corporate America know this is even possible? But it's not just Texas, and this next part might apply directly to you. North Carolina offers grants that cover the cost of training your employees. That means you can upskill your workforce without spending a dime up front. And then there's Georgia. Georgia gives a state income tax credit for every single net new job you create. And for bigger projects, there's something called the Mega Project Tax Credit, which gives even larger credits for major investments. State after state, the same pattern keeps repeating. And once you notice the pattern, you start seeing opportunity everywhere. And it keeps going. Ohio rewards companies that invest in research and development with serious tax credits. Plus, programs through jobs. Ohio provide workforce training grants and capital investment incentives. Then there's Louisiana, combining job creation incentives with training support. Their Enterprise Zone tax credit rewards businesses that invest in designated areas and create jobs, while their Fast Start program reimburses part of your employee training costs. State after state, the pattern is the same, and here's the part that should really get your attention. Now you might be wondering, why does the government even bother doing all this? To understand that, we have to go back. Way back. Think about the Great Depression. Thousands of businesses collapsed. Millions lost their jobs. Entire local economies were devastated. To fix this, the government built programs offering loans, grants, and financial assistance, and it saved over 100,000 companies. After World War II, leaders realized something important. Small businesses keep the economy balanced. Without them, big corporations would dominate everything. So the support system you're hearing about today? It was built on purpose, and it's been growing ever since. Now let's talk about something that could completely change how you fund your next business: government-backed loans. Specifically, SBA loans. Here's why this matters so much. Normally, if you want serious funding, you give up equity to investors. But with SBA-backed financing, you can borrow the capital instead and keep full ownership of your company. That means when your business grows in value, you keep the upside. All of it. This single shift from giving away equity to borrowing strategically is one of the biggest wealth-building decisions an entrepreneur can make. So, how do you actually get one of these loans? Here's the step-by-step, and it's simpler than you think. First, figure out which type fits your needs. The 7A loan is for general business purposes, while the 504 loan is for real estate and equipment. Next, you prepare a strong application, a detailed business plan, your financial statements, your tax returns, and a clear explanation of how you'll use the funds. A lender underwrites your application, submits it to the SBA for guaranteed approval, and once approved, the funds are yours. Lower interest rates, longer repayment terms, reduced personal risk, and most people have never even applied. Now here's a strategy that sounds almost too good to be true, but it's completely real, and it's written directly into the tax code. It's called QSBS Qualified Small Business Stock. Here's how powerful this is. If you buy shares in an eligible small business, or hold on to shares in your own business for at least 5 years, you may be able to exclude up to 100% of your capital gains from federal taxes. The maximum exclusion can reach $15 million, or 10 times your initial investment. Read that again. For founders and early investors, this single rule can be life-changing. Here's another one I talk about constantly, because it's that powerful. Section 179 and bonus depreciation. Normally, when you buy equipment for your business, you have to spread the deduction out over several years. But under these rules, businesses can deduct over $1 million in qualifying equipment, vehicles, machinery, technology in the very same year they buy it. Think about what that does to your cash flow. Immediate deduction, immediate benefit, immediate reason to invest in growth. And here's the kicker, 100% bonus depreciation was just restored under the 2025 legislation, meaning your year one deduction could be massive. Here's one most people have never even heard of: credits designed to revitalize entire communities. The Historic Rehabilitation Credit gives businesses back a percentage of their renovation costs when restoring qualified historic buildings. So you're preserving history and getting paid for it. Then there's the New Markets Tax Credit, designed to encourage investment in low-income areas. Companies that participate can receive substantial tax credits over several years. This isn't charity. This is the government literally paying you to invest where it matters most, and almost nobody is taking advantage of it. Now here's something that separates the wealthy from everyone else, and it's not what you think. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's that wealthy entrepreneurs spend serious time understanding how the tax code actually works. Large corporations pour billions into research and development, and the tax code rewards that with major credits. But here's what nobody tells you. Smaller businesses can qualify for the exact same RUD credits if they're creating new products, software, or improvements. These rules were never exclusive to giant corporations. They were just never explained to the rest of us. Here's something that completely flips the script on how people think about starting a business. You don't have to start from scratch. You can buy one. Using government-backed financing, entrepreneurs can purchase existing businesses with relatively small down payments. Some combine this with seller financing or outside investors. The result? You take over a company that already has customers, revenue, and employees already running, already profitable. And in some states, there are even local incentives specifically for people who buy and operate businesses in their community. This is how smart entrepreneurs skip years of struggle. And this brings us to something that most people get completely wrong: debt. We're taught that all debt is bad. But here's the truth. There's a massive difference between consumer debt and business debt. Credit cards carry brutal interest rates that can spiral out of control. But government-backed business loans often come with low interest rates, flexible repayment, and significantly better terms. Even microloans designed for entrepreneurs with limited capital and little credit history can open doors. The key isn't avoiding debt altogether. It's knowing which debt builds your future and which debt destroys it. Here's one final piece that ties everything together, and it's something I personally invest heavily in. Education and mentorship aren't just expenses. They can be deductible business expenses. Training programs, consulting services, professional development, if they're ordinary and necessary for your business, they often qualify. I spend a significant amount on mentors and professionals who guide me, and not only does it accelerate my growth, it provides tax benefits at the same time. Learning from people who've already built what you want to build, that shortcuts years off your journey, and the tax code rewards you for doing it. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. None of this is hidden. These programs already exist. Billions of dollars in grants, credits, and funding opportunities are sitting there, right now, waiting to be claimed. And the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make, assuming these opportunities are not for them. They're not handouts. They require you to build real businesses, create real jobs, and invest in real communities. But for those willing to put in the work, the difference this can make is enormous. Entrepreneurship will always carry risk, but understanding these tools? That's how you tilt the odds in your favor. Here's the bottom line. The government wants businesses to succeed because thriving businesses create jobs, drive growth, and strengthen entire communities. That's exactly why all of these programs exist in the first place. Grants, tax credits, training programs, low-interest financing. When you combine these with strong business fundamentals, you get something powerful. The biggest mistake you can make is assuming none of this applies to you. It does. It's accessible to anyone willing to learn how the system works. So now that you know, what are you going to do with it? If this video helped you, hit subscribe, because there's a lot more where this came from.